to Basscast Radio, bringing you the best in local and national news in bass fishing, as well as interviews with some of the best anglers from all over the U.S. With your host, Brian Carter and Hank the Bass Geek. Sponsored by Wildware America, Z-Bait Company, Missile Baits, Battleborn Batteries, Conrad Brothers Marine, Taylorman's Custom Lures, Vertical Lures, and Lynchburg Arms and Indoor Shooting Range.
All right, guys, as you guys can see by the screen, this ain't no Bass Geek I got with me right here tonight, Mr. Derik Hudson. What's up, brother?
You're training the bottom of the bucket trying to get me. Bass Geek would be a lot more informative.
That is not true, guys. This is my neighbor, by the way, everybody, Mr. Derik Hudson. What's happening, man?
What's going on, neighbor?
For you guys who don't know, Derik's had one heck of a 2021 season so far. Cashing checks, signing autographs. He's moving up, man. He is moving up.
I'm trying, man. I'm just trying to be like you.
Nah, you're going to make it, man. And you don't want to be like me because I'm still working my ass off. Good God. Every single night. Holy smokes, right here. I wish people really knew the hours I put in. It's probably
You got it so rough.
It's probably a whole lot of hours. I do. I'm tired every night, exhausted. I mean, just watching it wears me out sometimes.
Oh, I can imagine. If people knew how much time I put into posts and GoPro footage and editing and all that stuff, and I know you do way more than I ever do.
Man, this is no lie. I recorded my first vlog a month ago. It's still sitting on the hard drive.
Yep, I know the feeling. I got a lot of fish catches on GoPro that are still sitting there because I haven't figured out a place to put them yet.
We need to hook up. I've got a friend of mine. He just got married though, but he's a heck of an editor. I mean, he is awesome. We need to find us an intern and just split the cost between us and just shoot him content.
Well, when I get to the pro level, like a lot of these guys, I'm going to hire somebody to do all that stuff for me so I can concentrate on fishing and concentrate on the business.
It's crazy because now we got so many, TikTok. I mean, that is huge. Yeah. Instagram stories, the whole 9 yards. I mean, it's a business by itself now. But if you don't have it,
yeah,
you don't have the sponsors that we need to make this whole thing happen. So
that's right.
And by the way, what D's on, man? D's. Gotta thank our sponsors. Dick Sporting Goods, Lynchburg Arms and Indoor Shooting Range, Battleborn Batteries, Wildware America, Conrad Brothers Marine, Missile Baits, Angler's Choice Marine, and Lisa Lindsay at Long and Foster down South Boston, Virginia. You guys looking to buy a house, make sure you guys give her a call, 434-572-2645, or you just want to sell your house. And thing is keeping me going right now. There it is, guys. Y'all's Sweet Tea. If you haven't had a chance to check them out, just a simple little plug for them. It's some great stuff. I just made a fresh picture tonight, so we are ready to go for the weekend. What's up, man? There we go. The intro is done.
Yeah, I've been to Angler's Choice and Dick's.
What's that?
I said I've been to Angler's Choice and Dick's in the past week. So yeah, you got some good sponsors there.
I haven't been. I actually thought about going to Dick's the other day, and I hate them all, to be honest. I'm not that type of person. I like going in and getting it done, but I hate them all. But I got so used to, I guess call them, for you guys who know, here in Central Virginia, we had one as in a Target shopping center, so you didn't have to go. But I mean, this one's standalone too. But it's just the parking, the people, the whole 9 yards. Blah blah blah. All right. So if you guys haven't heard, Derik, like I said earlier, has been cashing checks, and he's fished a lot of tournaments this year and had a lot of great finishes. And there's only a few events left, but currently he is in second place for AOY points. and we're gonna get him to talk about High Rock, man. He started off. He went down. He told me earlier, practiced for a little bit, and had an awesome 4th place finish, and then moved on to the week later after that. 11-14, cashed another check. Break High Rock down for us, man. I mean, you know, a lot of guys here go to High Rock. I mean, I've never been, but I heard it's an awesome lake. So break down your almost 2 weeks at High Rock. Maybe close
Well,
to-
it's a great fishery because it pumps out every.
All right.
So High Rock is a great fishery. It's known throughout the summer, always pumping out 21, 22 pound sacks to win. Lots of 15 plus sacks to do good. It's got quality. The only deficit I would say for High Rock compared to some of our other lakes we fish and fisheries we fish like rivers and stuff is High Rock doesn't have the fish population. It's not that big a lake. It really is. It kind of fishes small because it's just not a big a lake as some of the other ones we fish.
Mm-hmm.
And so it has a smaller population. That's why if you look at a tournament there, if you look at the top 10, you're like, man, that lake's got big fish in it. But then you look at how many people zeroed and it's like, man, that fish doesn't have many big fish in it. So yeah, it's one of those lakes that got quality, but it sometimes doesn't have enough to go around for everybody. You know, it's not like a Champlain that's so big that everybody's got 14 pounds. Everybody can catch 14 pounds all day. And then the people that catch 18 to 20 are the ones that do good. No, it's not like that. It's not that easy to catch fish on this lake sometimes. And I've been burned several times where I think I'm on something and then it comes to a zero to weigh in. And it's been a blessing this past 2 weeks to really start dialing in the place and figuring it out. And the things I've learned throughout the years is you really have to keep an open mind with that lake because it's kind of like a river system. So it's constantly changing because the first tournament day, the 4th place finish I had, I caught all my fish 15 foot and deeper. They were all way offshore. And come the next tournament, I mean, I felt like I was on as good a fish. Before my motor crapped out on me at 11 o'clock, I felt like I was on as good as fish, if not going to be a better weight than I was the week before. And I didn't catch anything under 7 foot. They were all shallow. So it just shows the nature of that lake. That lake can change in a heartbeat. And it's always fluctuating and it's a diverse fishery.
All right, now you brought up earlier, and I also brought up earlier, you know, you've been there many times yourself. Sometimes in these events, 1-day events like that, and plus, you know, we do live, what is High Rock, like 3 or 4 hours away, isn't it?
Yeah, 3 hours away.
I mean, do you sometimes, you know, I ain't gonna say we overthink it, but does that sometimes happen? I mean, you know, you fished it so many times. You know, you want to save fuel, you want to save time. You know, we all work Monday 9 to 5. You guys don't know, Derik is a firefighter, and you know, extremely busy dude. But do you just wonder if sometimes we, you know, kind of overthink it or, you know, lean too far back on some of the past?
I honestly think for that body of water, it's actually been the opposite for me. Sometimes I've underthought it because most people are used to fishing fisheries that, especially for 1-day events, where you kind of figure out something and you can ride it through that event. You know, you can go to Smith Mountain Lake, and if you catch a fish on the outside corner of a dock, you can kind of run that and catch you 5 more. You know, you can finish out your limit. And this lake being a river system lake that sometimes the water's up just high enough because it's they've got enough rain that you can't get in the creeks because they got a lot of the creeks have got bridges in front of them and you can't get back in those creeks. So you have to completely write off anything that you had previously caught fish on back in there. So you have to account for that. Because it's a river system lake, the water fluctuates color so much. I don't know how many times I've run into a pocket and the visibility is 2 foot, and I'm like, oh, this is pretty. And I catch a fish doing something. Like I pitch up under a dock and I catch one, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna run around to the next pocket. Well, the next pocket, because of the way it's sitting on the lake with boat traffic and summer partiers on barges and stuff, it's muddy, and it's like not even 4 inches of visibility. It's just
Holy
so
cow.
many different elements to that lake. I think you almost have to overthink it. You kind of have to keep in your head, I haven't had a bite in an hour. I got to start thinking of something else. And that's what's helped me do a little bit better on that pond. This year, I had some decent finishes last year. I used to not do very good on there. And I think that's been a big key to me, is keeping an open mind throughout each tournament day, where they're there. The fish are obviously there, but they may have just moved 100 yards up on the bank where they were on this point. You know, you just got to keep trying to think of what they're doing different.
How important is that Lowrance system to you, brother? Especially like I said, the changing of water levels and clarity and all that good stuff.
Even the simple things like this last tournament, one of the biggest things that keyed me into, you know, I had a 4th place finish on offshore stuff. It's so easy to get caught up in, it's still summertime. It's still hot. They're still gonna be out here. And I noticed when I was put in and was fishing the first day of practice, I noticed the water temperature had dropped 6 degrees. And I was like, oh, that's a big difference. You know, in the summertime, that's a huge difference. And it was just because we were having a little bit cooler days, and they had a little pump out of rain in that area, and it just cooled it down a little bit. And sure enough, that's most of my fish came shallow. And I'm pretty sure that's a big key to that. And that's why I figured that out.
What's been your go-to baits for this, these past events, man? What have you been concentrating on?
Well, the 4th place finish was strictly Lowrance side scan to find them, and Lowrance active target to when I was on the humps and offshore stuff, points and stuff, was taking that thing and scanning it with that forward scan technology and finding the fish, and then throwing that 6XD and bombing it out there to them. Those new rods I got from Sticks and my Seaguar Tatsu line was allowing me to make long casts. A lot of times I was seeing those fish 80, 90, 100 feet out there.
Oh, wow.
And I was having to make really long casts to get that crankbait way past them. So when it came to them, it was actually down to the bottom where they were, because they were not far from 2 to 3 feet off the bottom. And that was a big key, was having that 6XD bombed as far as I could and able to get to that bottom in time for those fish that were way out there.
What was the color 6XD we were using?
Was Strike King 6XD?
Yeah,
what was the color? It was like a transparent chartreuse shad. I'm not sure exactly what they called it, but it wasn't their solid body. It was their clearish body. Chartreuse shad. But then come the next weekend,
the BFL,
that bite went away. It pretty much went away. The day of practice before, I caught a few doing it, but the actual tournament, I couldn't repeat it.
Right.
And I went to the shoreline and started fishing with a wobblehead, a Strike King hack attack. It's actually called a bobblehead. It's a little bit different than, most of the wobbleheads or the biffle heads, whatever you call them. Most of them have got a football head. This one's got more of a rounded head. It's like in between a football and a round head.
Oh, wow.
And I found it comes through brush really good.
Okay.
It's whereas the football head is obviously better in rock situations.
Yeah.
That little rounder head comes through brush a lot better. So I was using that with a mag trick worm. And then I also was using a Bizbait sassy stick on flipping gear. I was just 20-pound test Seaguar, 1/4 ounce black tungsten weight, and a owner jungle hook. Not an owner jungle hook. this time I was fishing lighter line. I was fishing 15-pound test. So I went to the Gamakatsu super line hooks. And that's when I fished at Dale Hollow earlier this year. I found out that the 15-pound test with the lighter super line hook is a great combination. And then when I go to 20-pound test, that jungle hook is a beast. That owner jungle hook is a gaff. So
I know
I like both of those, and I flip them depending on the target I'm fishing.
So the areas that you were finding, you were fishing, what was particular about those areas?
The main channel. I was staying on the main channel. Yep. I figured out that that main drag from the dam up to Crane Creek. It's a main straight stretch with a bunch of log jams and docks and stuff on the main channel. And that's just what I stuck with. I figured out that they were relating to close to that main channel. And that's just where I stayed.
Sassy stick color, brother.
Plum. I was actually throwing something different. Yeah, I just that's the key. And you're fishing a smaller lake like High Rock is. Sometimes just throwing something different than everybody else. The plum was working good.
Was the water a little dirty, discolored, or something of that nature for the dark color?
It wasn't. It was actually clearer than it usually is. I just have seen it several times the plum and other worms, like I've caught them on old monsters and mag 2 zoom worms, and back in the day, blue flake power bait worms. I mean, just that color trend has been always good there. So the sassy sticks, I had some 2 packs of plum I'd actually picked up from Angler's Choice, and I took them down there and wore them out with it.
That's awesome. Yeah, by the way, guys, he's talking about Angler's Choice. If you guys have not had the opportunity to go down there, I've been down there like twice this year because my cousin keeps buying cars. But that's an amazing store. I mean, they did an awesome job with it. I mean, they have come.
Not just boating.
No, it's an awesome tackle store. So
apparel. I mean,
clothing, you name it. I mean, they've got it. So it's a
mini Bass Pro, but it's got some niche stuff.
That is very true. So if you guys are looking for some plastics or something very unusual, Angler's Choice probably has it. So make sure you guys check them out. They're not but about an hour down the road from us, but they're down in Martinsville, Virginia, by the way. If you're coming through North Carolina, coming up that way, make sure you swing by and check them out. And I think FYI, I think they close at like 11 o'clock or 12 o'clock on Saturday. Because I looked one day, I was like, I want to go down there.
Really?
Yeah, they close early on a Saturday. No, that's what it was. A buddy of mine was going to go down there, and he was like, dude, this place already closed. I'm like, what? Yeah, they close at like noon.
That's interesting.
I was like, wow. All right, then. So, Derik.
But speaking of good tackle stores, also in our area, Lynchburg area, I always make a pit stop at WW Novelty before. I go on a trip like that because they always have something that's unique, and that's a big thing in fishing. It's just thinking outside the box and finding something that's just a niche, just a little lure that you didn't even see flipping through a Bass Pro magazine the other day, and you see it and you're like, oh, that's it. I got to have that. And I always do that. I always stop by WW to pick up something.
There you go. We're talking tackle stores here. If you guys didn't see, I got to wait way back. Holy cow. If you guys didn't see, Dennis Stump and Steve actually won the Angler's Choice Leesville Lake Tournament event last weekend with a 1709. So congratulations to them. Brother, man, there's not much left in 2021 for you. But
it's a lot left.
Well, you said it's not much left in the BFLs. What do you got?
That's the part I love about tournament fishing is a lot of people get to this point and they're like, well, my season's halfway over. And I think of it like this is when my eyes start getting big, because this is when the big payout part of the season comes. The championships, the regionals, the qualifications for All-Americans. This is when you need to start getting hyped about it. A lot of people get hyped in the springtime. I like to get hyped this time of year.
Yeah, a lot of people.
This is when the big.
That is very true. That is very true.
This is when the big paychecks are coming around.
That's very true. And speaking of that,
paychecks.
You going to the James River next, man. It's going to be warm. You said late July. You've done well in James River.
Yep.
How you feeling about this time back?
Good. As long as my boat gets fixed up. And I took it to the best people I know in this area that work on Evinrudes. Guy Brothers Marine. If you got an Evinrude and you're listening to this and you are pondering who you need to work on your boat, Guy Brothers Marine, just on the other side of the Potomac in Maryland, they are by far the best Evinrude mechanic I have met in this area.
That's awesome.
If you've got a big job you need done on an Evinrude, they've been working on them for over 40 years, so they know Evinrudes really well.
There you go. I told him, so you don't have to put my kayak in a shop unless it gets a hole in it. Brother, man, thank you for coming on with us. Guys, he is traveling. Like you said, he had to put the boat in the shop. That way he can get it out. And there's only a few weeks. You figure that's not very far away. I'm on vacation next week. I think we come back after that. And I want to say the Federation is going to be on the James River this year, believe it or not, guys.
Really?
Yep, they're going out of Osborne Landing. So the Federation is going up there. And so we'll be, I guess, I don't know if I'm going to travel for both or just make the run up on a Sunday and cover the final day. But we'll be up there. And then, like I said, we'll see what else the schedule brings us for the second half of 2021. So,
yeah.
Good luck to you, brother.
Sounds good, brother. I appreciate you having me on again.
Thanks for coming on. And we look forward to talking to you really, really soon again. And like I said, I don't know if I said this time, make sure you guys go follow Derik Hudson, please. He's got a contest going on right now. This podcast will be uploaded, as always, on Thursday. We drop them Thursday afternoons. But make sure you guys go give Derik a follow and enter his contest.
I got a big giveaway right now. Free Sticks rod, free Seaguar line, free fish socks, free tackle. I mean, you got to get in this giveaway. If you're not following me, go check it out.
There you guys go. Go check him out now. Give him a follow today. And guys, I'll be right back. All right, guys, we really appreciate Derik for coming on and talking with us tonight. What an awesome show. You know, like I said, Derik is a neighbor, lives right down the road, and he has had one heck of a season in 2021. It can only go from there. It's come from the dedication and putting in the work, which you guys hear me and John talk about all the time on Backstage Fishing. So again, thank you to some amazing sponsors. Bring it up here real quick. Angler's Choice Marine, Dick's Sporting Goods, Conrad Brothers Marine, Lynchburg Arms and Indoor Shooting Range, Battleborn Batteries, Wildware America, Missile Baits, and Lisa Lindsay, Associate Broker down in South Boston, Virginia. If you guys are looking, give her a call at 434-572-2645. Make sure you check out all these amazing sponsors and tell them thank you for sponsoring the basscast.com. If you guys hadn't seen, we have moved Basscast Radio over to Rumble. There you guys go, rumble.com. If you haven't checked out Rumble, make sure you do so. It's it's like YouTube, but you guys will notice a little difference when you log in or create your account or go online. It doesn't matter. Check it out. But you'll notice a big difference in Rumble just by some of the content. That's all I need to say. It's a pretty awesome place. But check that out. And again, thank you to Derik. Make sure you head on over, give him a follow, and we'll be talking to you guys soon. Again, don't forget, I am off next week. There will be no Basscast Radio next week. We're going to take the week off, but we'll be right back right after that. We got a Bassmaster event happening next week. So, you know what we'll be doing? We'll be talking to another great Bassmaster elite angler, and hopefully one of the winners, the winner. So Have a great night, everybody. Thank you for listening. You guys have a great week. Be safe out on the water, and whatever you are doing, be safe as always.
You've been listening to Basscast Radio, the best in local and national bass fishing news. To listen to more episodes, check us out on all the podcasting networks. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, thebasscast.com, and Basscast News.